What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Live Better Now podcast. I'm your host, Zach Rance. Having a pretty good day today. Hope you guys are having a good today. I'm going to be talking about something that is very important, and that is being happy. How to be happy. Now, look, there's no secret to happiness. Happiness is a choice, and it's a very hard choice to make. Well, it's a simple choice to make, but it's a hard choice to execute. Happiness is tough because you always think that there's going to be something that's going to lead you to happiness, whether it's a better job or financial freedom or a partner that's perfect for you, a house, a car, a new watch, whatever it may be. And then you get that thing and then you realize that you're still not super happy. And this is the conundrum of happiness. It's that there's always going to be another mountain to climb. There's always going to be another goal that you want to achieve. And I myself struggle with this. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast episode. I wanted to be very transparent. I wanted to put all my cards on the table and to show you guys that even though I'm a certified life coach and it seems like I have it together and I seem really happy, and I am. Don't get me wrong. I'm not coming on here saying that I'm depressed because I'm not. I'm not coming on here saying that I'm sad because I'm not. But I do struggle with constant states of joy, as most people do. You know, Anthony Bourdain and Robin Williams and a lot of other famous celebrities that seem to have it all. The money, the fame, the recognition, amazing jobs, still end up being depressed. And there's not a clinical issue that we can pinpoint that is a common denominator in everyone's situation, because everyone's situation is going to be different. But there are things that you can do to increase your chances of success when it comes to being happy when you wake up in the morning. And one of the things that I think has led to a lot of my happiness and also has been a great defense against depression and anxiety and depression, I just said depression, and sadness is daily exercise. Daily exercise has been proven to increase your levels of happiness because you feel better in your body. And because you feel better in your body, you walk around the earth with more joy. So exercising every single day and training for my 4th Ironman and waking up at 5 a.m. to swim every single day, 2,000 yards, 4 or 5 days a week, helps me conquer the day. And when I finish in the water, I can say, you know what, Zach, at least you got that done. You feel good physically. You feel good mentally. You have confidence that you were able to wake up before 5 a.m., show up to the pool, get your exercise in. And that is something that's really big for me. And I think it goes without being said that daily exercise should be a non-negotiable in everyone's life. And to a lot of the people that have been coming through to receive their free custom personal development plan, side note, if you haven't received your free custom personal development plan, you can head to the link in the show notes. You can head to the link in the bio of my Instagram page. You can head to the description in the YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube, and you can receive a free customized personal development plan. There's a few different containers that you're going to fit into, whether it's mindset coaching, weight loss, mental health coaching, running your first 10K, etc. Maybe a little bit of focus and productivity coaching. And then after you answer that question of what type of coaching you think will serve you best, I'm then going to ask you a series of 20 to 25 more questions to give me more context on how I can serve you best. So if you haven't received your free custom personal development plan, you can click the link in the show notes, fill out a couple questions, name, email, age, how much money you make, what type of coaching you're looking for, and then we can take you through to the next step. This is completely free, guys. $2,500 value, completely free. And I have strong conviction that if you follow through on your personal development plan, you will be happier. You will have more purpose and fulfillment, and you will feel lighter on your feet. A little bit more hope, more faith, more energy, more motivation, ambition, all the good feelings, all the good thoughts that we should be having on a daily basis that would lead us to success will start in your personal development journey. And to go on the record and discuss a little bit about the challenges that I've been facing recently and some of the things that in the short term feel like are holding me back end up being a lever that propels me forward. Because in life, there are no coincidences. Coincidences do not exist in life. Everything is meant to happen the way it is supposed to be. And it's up to you to create the narrative in your head that will give you the motivation and the energy and the focus to turn challenges, to turn negative situations into positive outcomes. There's no secret in life. There's no secret to getting rich. There's no secret to having strong relationships. It takes hard work, it takes sacrifice, and it takes focus. And in order to have all of these things, it's important to do the small things, to wake up early, listen to audiobooks and educational podcasts, eat healthy, stay away and abstain from alcohol and drugs. And we don't have to be perfect every day. And that's where a lot of people tend to fall off the wagon. And when they get off track, because it's inevitable that you're going to get off track on your personal development plan, on your way to happiness, it's important to get back on track. It's important that you don't spiral downhill, because I've gone through so many challenging things in my life, from all of the negative outcomes of being on Big Brother to continuing to deal with negative outcomes from Big Brother, to business ventures that haven't worked out, Ironmans that I failed, deals falling through. And ironically enough, it seems like they all happen at once. It seems like every negative thing that you can think of happens at the same time. And for 5 minutes, and we learned this on the Hal Elrod podcast, if you haven't listened to the interview I did with the author of The Miracle Morning, it sold over 2 million copies, Hal Elrod. It's one of the episodes prior to this. You can go find it on the podcast library. We learned that if it's out of your control, you're allowed to be upset for 5 minutes. You're allowed to sulk in your feelings. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to have a little bit of negative self-talk for 5 minutes. But after 5 minutes, when that timer goes off, when that clock is 5 minutes into the future than it was when you started getting upset about the thing you can't control, it's time to put it in the past. It's time to put it in the past because you cannot change it. Now, it's easier said than done, right? I can sit here and say, hey, listener, you should do this, and hey, listener, you should do that. But doing these things is not as easy as it is for me to say it. However, being aware of these things, being conscious that these perspectives and these mindset shifts exist is the first step. So even if you can't accomplish the 5-minute rule when something bad happens in your life and you only have 5 minutes to sulk in your agony, at least you're aware of it. And being aware of things is better than being unaware of them. I had a podcast today that I recorded with this guy named Dom, the hypnotist. And Dom is a very smart dude. And Dom helps sales professionals, entrepreneurs, and business owners level up their business through hypnotherapy or hypnosis. And one of the ways that he does that is through affirmations being played on repeat while you sleep. And this has been something that I haven't tried. I haven't tried this thing, but it's something I'm going to actually start trying. And I'm going to record my custom affirmation at some point this week. And I'm going to start listening to it while I sleep. I just got to get different headphones. But it's interesting because I talk to so many people that are doing such amazing things, that are so successful. And I feel so grateful that I'm able to have these conversations with them and ask them questions and bring these conversations and publish them to you guys. So if you haven't hit follow yet, if you haven't left a review, if you can leave a review, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. But I was having a conversation with this guy, Don, and we were talking about all things subconscious mind and awareness. And I asked him, look, what makes hypnosis real and how is it different than meditation? And he said, Zach, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and meditation are the exact same things. It's getting your brainwave state, your state of consciousness is the term I'm going to use for this conversation, this anecdote about this podcast episode. Your state of consciousness is really what defines your ability to be hypnotized. When your state of consciousness is in a meditative state, meaning your brain waves are in delta or theta or even alpha, you're able to change the thought patterns in your subconscious mind. And the patterns of your subconscious mind are defined by your environment. The patterns of your subconscious mind are defined by your environment. They're defined by your parents. They're defined by how much of the news you watch. They're defined by what content you consume on a daily basis. And these change the lens at which you look through life in. And when our lens is so narrowly focused on a negative thought pattern, whether it's I'm not good enough for this, or I feel shame and guilt about that, or I'll never be able to have X amount of dollars, our thoughts will change our actions. Because if we believe that we're not good enough, we're not going to take the action. If we believe that we're not good enough, we're not going to take that shot. We're not going to start that business. We're not going to pick up the phone. We're not going to get to the gym. But when our thought pattern is, I deserve wealth, I am rich, I live in abundance, I can close big deals, I can work with high profile, high income, wealthy clients, your actions will change based on those thoughts. So what I learned from this episode of hypnosis and hypnotherapy from this expert who actually works with NFL athletes, he works with multi-millionaires, small business owners that are just crushing it, is that hypnosis and hypnotherapy is real. And it is very similar to meditation. And it is important to hack your subconscious mind to change the way you think and act. And this comes full circle back to awareness, where awareness is really the foundation for the way you think and the way you act. And if you are unaware of these thought patterns, whether they be negative or positive, and for this conversation and this topic about this conversation, we're going to assume that your thought patterns are negative thought patterns. So if you constantly have these negative thought patterns and you're completely unaware of them, you will never have the free will to change them. If you constantly have negative thought patterns and you are unaware of them, you will never have the free will to change them. And being able to exercise your free will to change your negative thought patterns to positive thought patterns is the only way that you're going to turn your life from bad to good. However, hypnotherapy and hypnosis, they're the same thing. I'm just going to use the word hypnotherapy. I'll interchange it with hypnosis. Hypnotherapy is the quickest and simplest way for you to hack your subconscious mind. There are a ton of amazing books on the power of the subconscious mind. And the title of Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, is a very popular book. I've listened to it on Audible. It's super interesting. Another author that talks a lot about the subconscious mind is Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you haven't heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he has written multiple amazing books. The one that is my favorite is Becoming Supernatural. This is a book on your subconscious mind and how your subconscious mind has a direct effect on your physical life. It has a direct effect on your physical health, and it has a direct effect on your mental health. So the subconscious mind is something that we should be aware of, and it's something that we should study, and it's something that we should want to have if we want to live a better life of more energy, with more money, more happiness, better relationships. If you want to be successful, you have to be aware of your subconscious mind. So now we're going to take the podcast to how I hack my subconscious mind. To all you productivity and focus geeks out there, if you want to learn how you could be the most productive, the most focused, optimize your time and energy, you are very well versed in the exercise of meditation. And meditation is the solo act that you can do by yourself that costs $0, that will help you optimize your focus, your energy, and increase your chances of success when it comes to relationships, money, business, entrepreneurship, creativity, exercise, and all the above. So how do I meditate? Well, I've done a lot of different meditations over the last 7 years. I started meditating back in 2016, 2017. I didn't get really serious about it until 2019. But meditation is the practice of keeping your mind still, because our mind likes to wander. Our mind likes to think about things that are irrelevant, whether it's Jake Paul or something else that's extremely irrelevant. I try not to think about irrelevant things, but for some reason, my YouTube algorithm will not stop pushing Jake Paul podcasts onto me. I don't know what my YouTube has with Jake Paul. I've watched a couple of them over the last couple of months, and for some reason, the algorithm just continues to target me with Jake Paul videos. And I don't watch them anymore. I shouldn't have watched them at all in the first place. But the point is, your mind will take you to different places that do not matter, because the only place that actually matters is right here, right now. And we can only be happy in the moment. We can be happy about the future. We can look forward to things that are going to happen, whether they're trips or promotions or moving to a new house, whatever it may be. You can think about things in the future that bring you happiness. But you're only really happy when you have the feeling of being in your new house, of being on that vacation, of gaining the respect of having a new name tag because you got promoted at your job. And if we can hack our emotions to feel the way we want to feel from getting that thing, reaching that mountain, here's where it's going to come full circle, then you can be happy right here, right now with what you got from where you're at. So hacking your thoughts, hacking your subconscious mind to think, to feel like you already have the things you want will bring you happiness today. And that happiness that you're going to feel today is going to create a positive feedback loop, a positive thought pattern that is going to continue to build and build and build, kind of like the snowball effect, to continue to bring you more peace, joy, and happiness into your life. This has been another amazing episode of the Live Better Now podcast. If you have not already gotten your custom free personal development program, personal development plan, personal growth program, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to call it a personal development plan. Click the link in the show notes. Click the link in the bio of my Instagram. and I will get you over your free custom personal development plan in the next 48 hours. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the podcast. This has been a fun one. It's been a solo one. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Live Better Now podcast. Thanks, guys.